Well, hello, you guys. How you doing? It's Sunday. It's time for our gamers therapy, and for right now, it's just going to be me. Ashley has been just kind of wiped out today and taking it easy. She's pretty much just crashed out, so I'm just going to let her sleep. Um, I will do my best though to just put up with me by myself. And I forgot to do the intro. Well, that's okay though. We'll get the chat up here, get that going. Um, Today, well, hey Charles, how are you? Hope you're doing good out there. It's been a fairly decent for us in the area here. Um, I am gonna do a little quick. Let's see here. Gonna do a quick little shameless plug, man, for us. So this is our coffee shop, you guys. Got tea there too. Um, if you're interested in some coffee or tea in the United States, it's free shipping. So check it out. Yeah, there's some swag stuff too if you want it. Everything is roasted to order, and our teas are literally loose leaf teas. So they are not junk teas. Okay. So I just wanted to do that, share that with you guys, and we'll take it from there. Today, we're going to talk about some board games, Charles. We just figured we haven't covered that. I've actually had a couple people ask, hey, we know that you do da da da, but what about just the topic for the day of board games? So that's the topic. Board games. Man, there's a lot of them too. Uh, Quite a few. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I could really list my favorite board game. Um, but what I did do is go to Amazon and bring up their best-selling board games just to see. Hello, Telemachus. Happy third Thursday of the what? That's Sunday. Wait, if it's Thursday, I lost a day or a week. But happy third Thursday to you too, sir. So pardon me. Anywho, it is a good day. Any day you wake up's a good day. Um, Pretty sure you guys have seen all the terrible weather videos out and around us. We're very fortunate nothing's happened to us. And every year we seem to be kind of blessed in that regard, in my opinion, because literally around us, above, to the side, below, there's just a lot of terrible, terrible things going on. So look it up if you'd like. It's not really, not really a very pleasant thing to look at. Quite a bit of a lot of people have died so far, and then you just makes you think. So, but anyways, we were going to talk about board games. And Charles says he's moving boxes around the room. Yeah, at some point I've done the most rearranging we can do here. We even bought extra shelves. And we pretty much made the best of the space that we got. We really can't go. We don't really have any more room. Behind the fake wall is a closet. So it's just a lot of stuff. And there's a ton of stuff out there. So Telemachus, you got a favorite board game? Or Charles? I know we all do miniatures, tabletop stuff, and all that. Well, thank you, Charles. It's check out like what's happened in Kansas and some of this stuff. I mean, it's just insanity. And I don't even know how some of these people live. Their houses were picked up and thrown off. Well, good afternoon, Ashley.
What's up?
I told him you were crashed out, and I was going to let you crash out. And because you weren't here, I clicked on to show the introduction, and then it went off too fast. So I screwed it up. Anyways, everybody, let's welcome Ashley to the show. Yay!
Oh, God, don't even start that.
Well, I don't have any fake applause stuff.
Actually, I think you do. I think that one has sound effects.
Yeah, somewhere, but I haven't used them yet. This restream has so many options. It's like more than I'm ever going to use. But anyways, so at least she's able to join us now.
Yeah,
but
because
we were
things
gonna.
get done then.
Oh, here we go. We were going to talk about board games, right? At least that's what we've been asked to talk about. So we'll do that. Oh, you gotta show this to the group because I didn't.
Yes, can I get there?
All right, you can. See what happens when you show up late? It's a good thing I don't pay you.
I don't get paid at all.
yeah, we don't. Our endeavors just seem to cost us money, but
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
That's what a hobby's about, right? You gotta have some fun. You're gonna spend money on bills and all this other junk, anyways. May as well spend it on things you like. So, but anyways, if any of you guys got board games that you're interested in or that you really enjoy playing, then let us know. And we can look into those too because I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of cool to throw up the bestseller list on Amazon just to see. So Telemachus says he dislikes worker placement type board games. He tends to favor the larger, more difficult war game style board games. They're probably the exceptions. The one he had the most fun playing was Empire and Arms. Okay. Empire and Arms I have not tried. The problem is, Telemachus, to me, there's so many board games. Most of us deal with the tabletop miniatures, and then some of, well, you guys know, some of our stuff's a combination, like, the Aces of War, or, whoa, wait a minute, did I say that right? This last game.
Aces and Armor.
Yeah, Aces and Armor. So that's a miniature, that's a board game, We do a lot of the combo games, too. But Charles says his house is cold out there today in California.
Aww.
It shouldn't be too cold,
like
but there is a cold front going through. It's going to chill down a little bit for us. Already did. Then it's going to kind of work its way back up. Well, let me see here. So check this out. This is Amazon's bestsellers. Now, I don't know. Honestly, this first one doesn't look like a board game. See, I asked bestsellers.
It kind of is. It's magnets.
Yeah,
so you basically take a rope and you set magnets on. The person who ends up losing all their magnets wins.
But I didn't even know anything about this, so I didn't know you knew anything about this.
I've seen it up on TikTok.
Oh, it's called Collide.
Yeah, they're like super early or kind of strong magnets. So if you set it too close, it takes it, and you gotta know kind of your positive and negatives.
And then what's interesting still is
Candyland.
Candyland, huh? I mean, just about everybody knows that. I mean, it's interesting that it's just in the top 5 still. And Connect 4.
That
really
doesn't surprise me.
So, but I don't view that as a board game.
Connect 4? I mean, there's a board, it's just not laid flat.
Well, I guess.
It's like tic-tac-toe.
I mean, when I think of board games, I think of just like that Candyland or Sorry or Monopoly or stuff like that.
These are all as of right now, babe. It's not back in, Monopoly now is number 11.
Yeah, but that's still, you think of how many years gone by since this came out, and it's still in the top 20. Don't Break the Ice. I don't know.
We had one with Dylan loved that game because you put the little penguin in the center and you start breaking the ice. The person who makes the penguin fall through loses.
You guys must have been playing that while I was at work because I don't recall that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't recall. Yeah, you stopped playing them at 7. Yeah. Charles says he has 300 war games or hard conflict games. I have no idea what your favorite is. Might have to pick a favorite World War II, favorite Solitaire, favorite Napoleonic. Yeah, that would be my issue along the same lines, Charles, is I don't think I can't really pick what's my exact favorite game. I would have to categorize it like you.
That's the thing. These are, quote, family games.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you really want to get technical, well, Monopoly has miniatures. Yeah. Do you count Monopoly in
Yeah.
In there, do you count?
Okay, so again, you've seen the same email. They're asking about board games.
Oh, I know.
So I'm saying, okay, we'll do a show on that, and then we got another question about the same thing. So a board game, actually, stay on target. A board game is just that, a board game. Some of the stuff I don't think is board game, like Twister. How is that a board game?
There's a board. You use your body as the pieces.
I guess so. I guess Greg's idea of a board game is radically different than others. But anyways, I don't. Those are more traditional style board games. So the types of board games I prefer. I mean, I never really cared for some of those. That Catan, that's interesting.
Oh, that was a really interesting game.
Keegan got that. We played with that.
That'd be fun to replay it again. Now that we kind of have an idea. Aaron just kicked her butt real bad on that one.
The thing with that is with Catan is because it's a resource-oriented game. Boy, right off the bat, you play it once as a practice game. Then everybody knows what to do when you go play for real, and it's just going to be, you got to be kind of cold playing it, yeah. So yeah, that's a good point, Telemachus. I think the question geared to us was mostly about favorite kind of board games. I mean, I really couldn't say, and the reason is things to me like Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. That's a board game. You also have your miniature figures,
right? And
then it's resource oriented because it's if you go through your resources, you're done. Well, hello, Jeff. I haven't seen you for a while. We appreciate you coming by. Well, you're sure putting up a lot of content. I try to like for you, but I can't keep up with you, sir. But you got some cool stuff going up there, Jeff. Yeah, Charles. I don't know. Like I said, we were asked a couple times to talk about board games, and that's what I'm kind of do. But a lot of our board games, like the Zvezda games, that's a hex.
I mean, that's a board game.
Hex style board game, and with miniatures and whatnot. And you're playing it on a board. So
I mean, we have a lot of different ones that are considered quote board games.
Yeah.
You got Risk. Let's see, which other ones? I mean, if you want to get technical, it's Homicide's a board game.
Well, yeah.
Takes but No Takes is technically a board game.
Charles.
Well, that one doesn't really have a quote board.
Charles is all Hex's favorite would be anything other than a naval game. Yeah.
Yes, Bethesda, Alpha Strike.
Well, that's on a map, but I guess.
No, Alpha Strike has boards.
Yeah, you do for the one. Yeah, you do. That's true.
So
I was thinking of BattleTech with the maps, but
I mean, you could change it up and have a big, 4 foot by 8 foot map, and then is it then still considered a board game? No, not really.
I don't know if you got the boards though. You connect all the boards.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the one game I don't understand how magnets and a rope are a board game. That we were looking at earlier, like I don't understand.
I think that's just top games, probably.
Yeah. Well, I typed in bestseller board games because I just kind of wanted to see what board games is it that
I mean, it has a border. The rope, you put everything inside the rope. So I mean, I guess.
No, actually, board.
I'm just surprised Monopoly was that low.
Oh, Candyland being number 2 is
that's surprising.
That's a hold on there, man. So it's I don't know, you guys. There's a lot out there, like we've said before. I don't know. There's too many for me to actually say. So in response to a person sending an email, is I really don't have a standout alone favorite. I don't think there's a couple of games that I really probably maybe enjoy more than others, but I don't know. I can't make it definitive. I mean, Pac-Man ended up being a board game. And did you guys know from the video game world from long ago, Tekken, right? Most of you will remember that. So GameFound now is doing like it's like Kickstarter, so they're bringing Tekken to game board. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but they took Resident Evil and made a board game out of that with miniatures too. So
Yeah.
that one, though, that got a lot of good reviews. They said it was people.
And I still haven't gotten it. Get back on the corner.
Wow, you woke up and you're feisty now.
Well, so Google says their top 10 ranked games. We'll just do the top 5. Ticket to Ride, Catan, Catan, sorry. Galaxy Cruise, Liars, and Scout, which I've never heard of 3 of those.
It just says it's simple strategic gameplay, but I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, so that's top 5. That's through Google.
I don't know. They have a new pirate game I was looking at too. That's a board game with little miniature pirate ships. So that might be, I think it's just called Plunder, to be honest with you. Those are card games there. So board games, I don't know. I think most everybody that we talk to is, it's either going to be miniatures or like Jeff there, Hex Encounter, which is map-based games. So not too many of us are doing quotes.
What do you consider a board? That's the thing.
I'm just going off of when they say board game.
You think of like the big cardboard.
No, just a general board game when it's designed that way. But they've changed over the years, man. So I think it's quite a bit different. Hold on a second here. I think it's. I want to try to find this one I was just talking about here. Battleship's still up in there, but I really don't see that kind of fading out. That's a
fun 2-player game. Unless you have 2 copies, then you could go and really go and get it going.
I'm going to bring this up, share the screen on this, because this is called Plunder. So it's a board game, but
of course,
Charles, it might be interesting. Hold on.
Here.
Look. See the little miniature ships? Kind of interesting, huh? I mean, price-wise, it don't seem too bad.
$50, that's not bad.
How's it looking over there?
I don't know. Hasn't popped up yet.
Let's see, what else? There you go. There's the board game with. So it looks kind of coolish, I guess. It says it's for adults and kids, and because I got adult kids, but I got grandkids, so some of the games I look at.
You are a kid,
and that's okay. I'm not ever going to grow up.
And Mike's here.
Growing up is a trap, so just don't do it. So see, you got miniatures on this one. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I don't know.
I think it just depends on.
Check out the board. The board.
I mean, it looks really cool.
The board's kind of interesting, though, because it's. There you go. See, Jeff, there's a naval game you might be interested in. I mean, have a couple drinks and get wardrobe on there. So see, something like that. I mean, it's a board game with miniatures, obviously. I don't know. Something interesting. I thought that was just an interesting, might make an interesting thing. Well, hello, Mandarin Mike. How are you? X says he gave his only naval game to McMurray while he was there. And he left you with another naval game? That's cool. Did he kind of just sneak it in? Hello, Mini Warmut. We're glad you stopped by.
And of course, Brian says Zombicide.
Yep, of course.
But again, I think Tomakis has an actual point. You got the traditional games versus hobby or board games. So
So this was just an overall gaming question. And the way I gathered it was mostly walk into a store, what board game?
yeah, if
Because
you go into any of the big stores, Walmart, Target, trying to think of which other ones are around.
our hobby stores do have quite a bit of different games. Like
Kmart. I don't know if Kmart around it anywhere because it's not here no more. It's gotta be somewhere.
Our
still.
last Kmart left a couple of years ago out of here. We don't have one anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
But anyways, it's just a matter of, you know, preference. And you're right there, Telemachus. It's going to depend. Even the one game we have tanks a lot, which is tanks. It's more like chess than it is tanks.
Well, yeah, chess or no. What the hell is the other game? Chinese checkers.
I don't know.
It's kind of more like Chinese checkers. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
I don't remember who it was. I think I was playing with. I had our two younger grandsons, or our grandson and our adopted grandson. I had both of them, and I taught them how to play, and I just kept getting my butt whooped. Like, this is unfair. I know the rules. You guys don't. I get my butt whooped.
You taught them not to play aggressively, so.
Yes, that I did.
So yeah, we just thought we'd chit chat about that for at least a little bit and see kind of where it goes. But it's just going to depend on people's perception too of what defines this and what defines that, I think. And
no, I mean, if we're just talking, so traditional game board, I would have to probably say my top couple would be like Risk, Game of Life, and probably Monopoly would be my top three.
Risk was fun, and then you got Halo Risk.
Well, you got all sorts of. There's a Star Wars one. There's Halo. There's your regular Risk. I think there's some kid ones.
Yeah. But Brian's right. Zombicide's a fun board game because you got board games and miniatures, and it's so easy to play that you kind of can't lose on it. Hello, Mythos. How are you doing, sir? You've been working your backside off, man. Time for you to take a break.
And we go to hobby-wise, my favorite, at least what we own wise, I would say Zombicide, Aliens, and probably what would be another one that we own? Because we have so many. Probably Aces and Armor would be my top three for hobby board games.
Meandering Mike says he likes Go for Broke, where you had to lose all your money.
Meandering Mike, one like that
is that the marriage edition?
Keegan and our daughter Crystal, they have a game. It's called Redneck Life.
Oh yeah, where you play.
You play, and you basically have to roll a dice to begin with, and it get each number coordinates with a number on the thing of like what age you graduated from or dropped out of school. If you ended up with kids, what kind of job you had. Yeah, that was
what kind of car you had, and then
it was nuts.
And it went off of you only had so many teeth to lose. And
so
once you've lost all your teeth through stupid behavior, then you lost the game. So yeah, it's just many more months off. Oh, wifey, talkie. Yep. Surprise, surprise! You like Warhammer? All right.
So I mean, that's another one. Is again, is that technically a board game?
Not Warhammer, but Kill Team.
Kill Team, yes, because there's boards. Warhammer, you can. I mean, those pieces that you got from the auction from Reese.
No.
That's considered a board.
That is no.
So.
Oh boy. See what happens when you take a nap. You start trying to.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, how far are we pushing, quote, board?
Just board games.
Because technically you could go get a 4x4 piece of plywood. That's a board.
Oh, Ashley.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Redneck Life actually is kind of
funny.
It's hysterical. But you gotta just, yeah, what hammer? Telemachus, you're funny. Never heard of it. Oh, really? I've not played the Warhammer Underworlds, Mike, so I don't know anything about that series.
Warhammer Quest Underworlds? Yeah, I've never heard of that.
We got one over here Keegan gave us that we haven't opened yet. I can't remember.
Do we?
The Warhammer, it's an offshoot.
Doomsday?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah, it says Warhammer Doomsday Countdown. That's the only Warhammer up there that isn't open.
Grab it. I can't remember what the name was. I know he got it at Barnes and Noble, which is weird. Why a bookstore gets exclusive rights to certain games that nobody else does, but...
Space Marine Adventures Doomsday Countdown.
Oh, yeah. Look, Mythos. Hasn't even been opened.
Who's it
He
with?
gave it to us, but it's got...
Space Marines.
Well, yeah.
And who?
Cards. Says infiltrate the base, disarm the explosive, save the day. These are the push connect easy builds. It's up to 3 players. You control a squad of Space Marines as they strive to save an Imperial Hive City from a horde of Chaos cultists.
I was saying it's Chaos.
So they must fight through the Hive City, seal off the cultists, access routes, and deactivate the Doomsday device and escape. Can you work as a team? Well, I don't know. If me, Ashley, and Keegan sat down, probably would not work. But here, I was going to show the back off to for some Mythos. So it's a board game with some cards. And then the models. Sorry about the glare. But it's a pretty big box. That was a Barnes & Noble thing.
So, I mean, I don't know about that one.
It looks cool. We just haven't had a chance to do it. Yeah, and I'm sure they do pay for that, having that exclusivity on them, Telemachus, because you got such big names, and then you've got, I mean, Barnes & Noble is big, don't get me wrong, but I mean, most people aren't going there for games. Although we do, and Keegan does, and we'll go in there and try to check and see if they have anything on.
I stopped going in there when I stopped buying mangas.
Well, Clint's the one that today, Greg, look, I picked this up. It was a Blood Bowl. But it was, Blood Bowl and then Blitz. I think it was the simplified version. He had Memoir 44. That's supposed to be a really good game, Memoir Mutt. Well, there you go. Meandering Mike has a bunch of them there. Shadespire, Night Vault. Was that Beast Grave? Harrow Deep. Nether Maze. Gnarlwood. Death Gorge. Wow. We got some interesting names. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one there, Telemachus. We see you, Hexy. It says test. So Charles cleared off a shelf on the rack in the back of the small game table. Hey, if you can make space, but you're constantly getting things too. So you're going to run out of space, Charles. What the family needs to do is just say, hey, it's California. We don't need the garage. They need to spend a few grand, convert the garage to one big man cave for you, right? Throw in some plumbing and make it a nice big space for you.
Yeah, he wants to get a new shed so he can basically make a man cave out there.
Me?
Yeah.
It would be a little cold in the winter, although I do.
Oh, you would figure a way to get it heated.
Oh, that's interesting. Mythos says around Christmas time, Barnes & Noble has good sales on Battletech sets that didn't sell. Huh. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I just never really went into a Barnes and Noble at all. I read when I was a kid, but I just never had time to sit down and read a book anymore. But one day Clint goes, "Look at this game I picked up." I'm like, "You picked it up at Barnes and Noble?" And he goes, "Yeah." And since then, Keegan's got some deals out there. They do have some oddball deals that you're not ever going to see anywhere else on the internet. So
He's found a couple games at the Ben store.
the Amazon bin store,
Uh-huh.
yeah, we have one of those.
Actually, I think that's where
Actually, it's funny because the Amazon bin store is just a couple shops down. It's in the same parking lot. It's kind of like an L-shaped small mall area, strip mall, and then you got Petco, and so you got just a couple stores. This one big parking lot, and Barnes and Noble is right there next to the bin store. It's kind of funny. You love the casual phrase of just spend a few grand. Oh yeah, yeah. You could easily do that. I told you before, Mythos. My mistake was all this lecturing over the years. They said invest in 40K is what I thought, but they were telling me to invest in my 401K. It's just my gaming mind only heard 40K. So there wasn't no savings.
A spring sale right now.
Huh? Oh no.
Unfortunately, I wish we could, but right now we helped some family, and then we gotta wait to get paychecks.
It's a little tight for us now, but that's what happens. I mean, when I have the money, I don't really seem to see the sales.
Then we see the sales when we don't have the money.
Then we don't have the money, then there's all these sales. So
No, I just wish coffee shop went a little better.
Yeah, we gotta. That's one thing we've been working on too. So
yep, trying to get it into a couple other places, but that's a little hard to do.
There's a lot of hoops.
Yeah.
Like when you set something up like that, there's just a lot of business stuff you got to do that they don't tell you about. But that is what it is. But if they have a good sale, then check it out. I don't know. There's just quite a few interesting games that are classified as board games. Again, I don't know how the magnet and the chain does. I don't know how that works, but
it's preference. You don't believe it's a board game. You talk to someone who grew up with that, they might say it is a board game. Just like I don't think any game that doesn't quote have a quote board should be considered a board game. Warhammer being one of them. But then you got Kill Team, which does have boards. So it's just.
Well, I'm going off of something that has a board.
Exactly.
Like Risk, per se, something. That's it.
It's just preference. Someone could go and say a card game is a board game.
I don't see how. It's a card game. Yeah, Pandemic. I remember that selling real well. Into the World games. It's like that whole Life game we play every day, you guys. We don't, but they made a board game called Life where you gotta pay bills and get married. I'm like, isn't that what you do in everyday life? Why? But
no, you're forced to go through school. You're forced to get married. You're forced to have children.
Oh, in Game of Life?
Yeah. Because if you spin it and you land on it, you're forced to take it. You can't say, nope, put them up for adoption.
Yes, you're right, Meandre. Mike, that would be why. Tabletop gaming, to me, encompasses just about everything.
Exactly, yep.
But we were asked, the email
board
asked,
games.
Would you mind talking about board games? They didn't specifically, what are people's favorite board games? And I said, sure. Then I got another one. Hey, do you guys ever cover, because we got quite a few new subscribers, so for you guys, we appreciate you, all of you, and we're just trying to touch a little bit different base today on that.
But what there, Mythos? Brian? Not Mythos.
Backhand dudes. He loves his wife, but you kind of need your own space gaming too. Yeah. So that's all we were trying to do there, Mike. But yeah, it's tabletop gaming covers all that, cards and just everything. We kind of like that. And as a couple of you guys know, I actually been liking that World War One game. And that's tough though too.
Oh, bull, men don't talk much. That's a load of bullshit there. No, you're good there, Mythos. It's just preferences on what you would consider is a quote board game.
Yeah, it was just someone asked us. A couple of people actually asked us about just if we would talk about board games, and so I just kind of wanted to see what you guys all thought. Take it from there. And Board Game Geek, yeah, they cover quite a bit. Just a second here. I wanted to look at something here real quick. I'll show you.
Okay, not all women are like that, Brian. Now, aren't you glad I really don't have friends?
Huh?
And getting into their personal lives?
He doesn't need to know what color the flowers on the dress are. Yeah. So, looky, I'll share this with you. Look, there we are. We have our own profile there at Board Games Geek, anyways, which we've had for a little while, and some game reviews and stuff like that. When did we join? Oh, October
of last year.
Yeah.
I think that was right after you got that little can game.
Trench Knife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Never played any Munchkins. Greg's eaten a lot of them.
What? I'm missing something. I'm on a different
Mythos.
page. Oh. Munchkin is a lot of fun. What? What are you laughing at?
Did you hear what I said?
No. I was busy.
I've never played that game, but Greg's eaten a lot of them.
Munchkins?
Yeah.
I have?
Dunkin' Donuts? Munchkins?
Oh, from Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
Donuts?
My brain's just whatever. I was like, not going in that direction, I guess. So yeah, Board Game Geek, they cover a whole bunch of stuff. So they're a pretty cool place too for some resources. So I don't know, you guys. I guess probably a straight up board game that I used to like and played off and on, probably more than the rest, was Risk.
I say you liked Risk.
Count the number of copies of a game? You could, Charles. We're curious. Do you have multiple copies of the same game? Or do you have the game and then add-ons? I guess that's funny. The Munchkin is good when you need a short game to play until your game at the hobby store starts, to avoid having to talk to the sociopath. Well, yeah. So preoccupying yourself with it. Why do you have three? Well, on your copies, Charles, specifically for you, are those? Is it the same Panzer Blitz game? 3 copies of the exact same game, not add-ons to it. Like when we talk about Zvezda, there's the original one, and then you've got Operation Barbarossa, and then you got another Barbarossa one. Then you got the Doomby, or however you pronounce that, and then you've got Stalingrad, and all those add on to the original core game. You got to have first, and then it branches off, which I'd like to get a copy of that Stalingrad one. But if you have 3 copies of the same game, I don't know. I don't think I don't have any duplicate copies of any game. If I have a game, then I have the game. That's it. Now that little one I got you guys, that Kickstarter, which is technically a board game, it's small. I kind of did a run through on it, and I was um, kind of, I don't know, I wasn't really enthused with it. It didn't make much sense. I guess I should do a short little video on that because it just doesn't.
And say there's like really no way it's either you roll, a certain number, it's either destroyed or it's not.
No, on the one particular 2 units, you're not allowed to destroy. So you can only make them retreat, but then they win by default. They will win anyways. On
Right. So I'm confused. The game is weird.
Oh, Mike says he's got 4 copies of the Warlord game published in 1976. Well, then they might be worth something then. I don't know. I'd look that up, Mike. Horrified is a cool game. Isn't that many warm-up when you find out last minute that relatives are coming by? Or are we talking about Horrified as a game?
You don't have to worry about your in-laws just showing up.
There you go, Telemachus. No one wants to play with you because you're considered the sociopath. I just let people kind of think. Rum and Bones? See what I mean? There's some good games too. Still, overall favorite board game would have to go in order. Maybe I guess I could do it. It would have to probably be at this time Zombicide. Then a backup to that would be Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. But that's because it's a little bit more in depth. Zombicide's really a very easy game. Well, yeah, why not? Star Wars Imperial Assault. Boy, that was a very popular one for a while.
But is there technically a board?
Um,
That's the thing. That's where we're kind of on. Is if
you could have 3 originals, Charles. We're not chastising you for it. I was just curious if you had 3 of the same game. That's cool. I just wanted to differentiate. Was it 3, like I said, or were they branch offs? But if you got 3, then you got 3. Especially if you really enjoy it, you got backups to it. That Aces and Armor, it's really surprisingly very good gameplay. And so I want to get extra bags of the miniatures because you could add more people. Charles says he's got the original Horrified, which in the Greek God version, he hasn't played that yet. Good grief, Mike says he's still looking or hunting for the General Weiss and Admiral Thrawn. They're $200 for those? Oof, $150 to $200. Oh, do you actually have them, Mini Wormut? There you go. Evil laugh. Damn, some of the things are... I remember I had, those Blockbuster cards, you guys. Do you remember Blockbuster, anybody, when you rented movies? And we didn't download them. So I got all the video game cards, that set. I got the whole set. And they're pretty hard to find. That's what I see them running for. And it was for right around the $200 mark on eBay. And I'm like, you can't really find them anymore. So I went and talked to it. There's actually a comic and card shop in town, and they're new and they're supposed to be whatever. And so I just asked Ashley, go in there and just play them and see what they would offer you for these cards. Just see what the store would offer you, because they have a lot of oddball stuff. And they said, they offered her $10,
for all of it.
And I'm like, that's kind of funny. So that tells me if I was going to sell it, I sure wouldn't sell it to the local store, because you're not going to get nothing. But people are willing to pay for those online because it's collectible. It's all the video games of the day. So, what is Star Wars? I don't know, Telemachus. I heard it was some kind of movie based on right and wrong. I don't know, that took place in somewhere far away. Like Star Wars, a new hog. Kind of like Spaceballs, Mike. Is that what we're going off of? Minnie Wormont says he loves the game Final Girl, but he has yet to play it. That's not true. You married her. That should be your final girl. So you're already married. Now you just got to play the marriage game. That's it. Although I hear there's a marriage tax. You have to watch that. It's okay. With your hair up like that, you look really angry. It's okay. A favorite for your last century and one for this century. See, Charles? When you do that, it'll throw the average person off. What? Last century? Huh? You know, but I like when you do that. That's pretty cool. That works. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I'm sorry you're cold out there. It just shouldn't be cold in California. Northern California, it'll get cold. I've been up there, spent time up in Sacramento and whatnot, even further north. So there you go. I don't know. Minnie Wormont didn't comment. I was just making a dad joke funny. It's okay. I would apologize, but I can't. My behavior is kind of just the way it is. So. I think this overall pretty good. Learning on some Southern Star Wars. The Emperor Penguin Strikes Back. Now, is that a real game? Because that just sounds like that'd be funny. I don't know. Or are you just joking? Ashley, why are you looking at traditional Chinese food? You're looking
That's
at
what I'm
Chinese
making
food.
dinner.
I understand, but here I think she's over here, you know, like when someone says something, she's quick to get on there and look something up. And I look over and there's all these plates of Chinese food. I'm like, come on.
No, it's only one kind of Chinese food. I'm just trying to find the right one.
Well, that looks like all different pictures. What do you mean the right one? You're
A lot
trying
of them
to
have
make
oyster sauce in it.
Toso chicken, right?
Yeah, General Toso.
Okay. So after this, she's going to finish her attempt at General Toso chicken. So we'll see how that works. So far, so good. It's a lot cheaper just to make your
So
stuff at
far,
home.
so good. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, we haven't started. So far, it's good. Now, we'll find out when you're done cooking how it came out. I believe in you. I believe in you. It'll be okay. I think you'll do good. Jeez. Think if you had a nap, you wouldn't be so feisty.
Oh, yeah, I had, a whole whooping maybe 20-minute nap?
I was just going to let you sleep. I tried to wake you up for the show, and you're like, whoa. And I was just like, I'll let you sleep. It's all good. Gamers, we have to eat. Ugh. I don't know, you guys. Tons of games.
Kung Pao chicken, yeah.
Back to food. Kung Pao chicken is good, Meandering Mike, but my favorite
Black pepper.
Chinese food is black pepper chicken if it's done right. But I'm kind of a pepper.
He's a pepper snob.
I'm not a pepper snob.
Yeah, you are.
No. I do like pepper, though. People at the restaurant, my son, before he got married, when he first met his girlfriend, we went out to eat. And so I just unscrew the cap off the pepper and just put on my food, put the cap on, and her eyes were like, what'd you do? And I said, that's how I always eat pepper. I don't stand there and shake it. It's going to take me an hour to shake out enough pepper on my food.
He will.
But Kung Pao chicken, that sounds good too. But she wants to try the General Toso. Homemade, like from scratch. No buying bottles of the sauce. It's just, she's going to make it all from scratch. So I think it'll come out just fine. All right.
It's one of those gag things.
Oh, yeah. You get tired of those.
I have 3 years of experience. If you're interested, give us a call.
Yeah, we get a lot of spam email. But
it's just funny.
Some of it's kind of funny. Yeah. I can help make you rich.
Yep.
We'll never
I
heard
can
of
get
you.
you 100,000 subscribers.
May Warmut says Kung Pao Cat, not bad either. Well, we I think that was sold in the neighborhood out there where I grew up.
Probably.
You didn't see no strays, man. That's all I'm saying. But
Star Wolves.
the Rise of Sky Dancer.
Hey, there were actually sky dancers when I was a kid. They were basically like girl helicopter kind of things. You put the feet up in the machine and you yank the string and it shoots them up. I don't know how many times I got them caught in the trees.
I don't know. Got a peanut allergy? Just make it without the peanuts. Well,
you could.
Nah, if you go into like a restaurant and they make it in batches, you're just going to be stuck.
I think they use peanut oil.
Yeah.
Because it's a high burn, or not burn, but smoke or something like that.
Yeah, it's got a high tolerance to the heat.
Yeah, high heat.
They opened up out here. As long as we're talking about board games and food, we used to have a buffet. It closed a long time ago. Interestingly, when I first moved out here, they opened, and I went for 20 years. Well, the kids grew up eating there, and then COVID wiped them out. It was just a little family restaurant.
Yeah, they watched our kids grow. We watched their kids grow.
Yeah, it was really kind of cool because you go in there and it's more like, family. They were, except for my son. Sometimes they would yell at him to stop getting so many drinks because, man, he could.
They would chug on that.
He could drink and eat a lot, but that closed, and we were kind of just out of luck. There was none other. So now there's a big one that opened, but they'll serve not just Chinese food, but also seafood, and it has like a whole po
soup
area where you can make that, and then a grill area where you can pick out whatever you want, like a hibachi grill. And I mean, obviously, there's more food that you can even eat in there, and it's just pretty amazing place. You'll have to come out here to Lamicus, and we'll take you. Mandarin Mike says, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce that correctly, but the peanut oil is awesome. It's aromatic. I don't know. I know a lot of people out here deep fry turkeys with peanut oil. I don't have a turkey fryer, but they'll deep fry the whole turkey. And they use peanut
oil doesn't break down as quick as some of the others. I think that's why a lot of places use peanut oil when they're doing more of the like crispy stuff, Beijing beef, and some of the other kind of things that you have to kind of deep fry a little bit.
I wonder if Jeff is still there. I think he was having a connection issue because he said test, and that's the last I heard of it. So hopefully you're still there, Jeff. I don't know why. See what you did when you turned on your screen and started looking at food?
Oh, you didn't have to say anything, so whose fault is that?
Because I know what we're making for dinner, so when I turn and look and I see all this Chinese food up there, I'm thinking about dinner. Mike, you can start your own kind of food show, maybe. But anyways, maybe we could make a board game, you guys. We could come together and make one about food. And as a gamer, you have to accomplish certain things before you get your next meal. Oh, wow. Telemachus, that's cool. They make them for the Asian Little League teams for the World Series. Huh. If you could get good, authentic stuff, like when I came from California out here, and I wanted to get good Hispanic food, it was more or less the Americanized version, and I grew up in a neighborhood where mostly everybody was Hispanic, and so I had a lot of good, authentic Hispanic food. So,
have you ever considered the crazy white man?
Yep, that's what we were called at the one store.
Because you ate stuff that was so spicy.
Yeah, I was told that you eat more than hot sauce than we do. You did 2 cooking videos and they were utter failures.
Huh.
No views. Well, see, the thing I found, Meandering Mike, like we all know, is if we sit out here and we talk about stuff and you got some information or whatever, it's like no one wants it. What people want to see is that really, there's just a lot of dumb stuff. I'm like, how did this even get past a view, much less a million views? It's absolutely mind-bogglingly dumb. And I was looking at some the other day, me and Ash were talking, I'm like, you'd have to, that's just not us. We're like, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff to get views. Either people watch me or they don't, but it doesn't matter. Some of this stuff is, and I bet your videos were good too, because I'm betting you're somebody that put a whole lot of effort into it, like everything else. But I noticed that's not really what people want today, unless you get the older, if you got an older group that'll follow you. Oh, they have the altered slop out there too. Yeah, out here they did, and I was like, I went to the first place, and I was like, "What is this?" And I asked them for some chili verde, which is green chili sauce, and traditionally it's made of pork. I mean, you can make it with chicken too, but they didn't even know what I was talking about, and their menu was just completely just not authentic food. Fortunately, the guy came out here from Mexico, and he opened up a couple shops, and man, that's good. And a few more people have. So now, in the beginning, you didn't, but it's like 25 years later that I've been living here. Now,
you got a couple.
Now you can get some really good, authentic, like carne asada done correctly on homemade refried beans, not the canned stuff and whatnot. And there's a little place we go to where they still make the breads, and like the yellow breads, the sweet breads, and they bake them right there, so you can buy them out of little glass donut shelves they got, but it's their pastries. So it took a long time though for that stuff to kind of come this way, but now we got a few places, which kind of reminds me of just what I used to be able to get, because to me, Taco Bell is not Hispanic food, it's
not
just,
out here.
It's just not. And that's one thing too. I always thought that'd be kind of cool if you open a restaurant, but the amount of work it takes.
Honestly, we've thrown that around a little bit, but
it would just be too much. The family that we were talking about earlier that had to close when COVID ran through here was, I never thought they ever took a vacation. They never closed the shop. They worked good 20 years, every day. And I was like, wow, that's just a huge
slip.
Huge amount, yeah. So, but anyway, so much for cooking and food. So I don't know. So we tried to cover the board games there a little bit. And if anybody listening to this on the podcast later or wherever you're listening to it, then if you have some ideas, you can email us too at gamerswithcoffee@gmail.com. Any spam, of course, we're just going to block that. But feel free to ask questions. That's generally where I'm getting questions from, which is kind of interesting. You can ask them in the show too. But I think a lot of times, because we get more views after the show and more on the podcast, because I turn this into audio and then I put it as a podcast, I tend to get more listens to. So you guys may feel you don't have a way, but also if you go to our regular website, gamerswithcoffee.com, there's a contact us space there, and I've gotten some feedback from that, so you can do that too.
You can even message us up on Gamers with Coffee too, and Facebook.
Yeah. So there's a few ways if you have an idea of something you'd like to see us go over. But generally, I've been told over and over, you'll do better, Greg, if you just focus on one thing. But
that's not us.
My gamer brain is too ADHD for that. It's not going to focus. Because I enjoy more than one.
What is focus? Oh, wait, squirrel.
Yeah. I enjoy more than one type of gaming. And I've found by doing multiple types, man, I would have missed out on a lot of stuff if I stayed focused in just one area. Because even things I didn't think were fun, like Jeff from X to Hex, he got me into that, him and Wardrobe, into some of the chick games, which are, I mean, they're a little harder for me because I'm not used to it. Although even the one mini warm up did's easy to tanks on the east front or eastern front. Ones like that are very simple and easy to play. I would have missed out on that. I would have missed out if Clinton wouldn't have introduced me to some naval games because I just stayed away from naval games. I always thought, man, it just looks boring, and I never really wanted to do anything with it. And then he got me started on Sales of Glory, and then I liked it, and Ashley bought it for me for my birthday 6 years ago.
Something like that.
7 years ago. And of course, you guys know we have Oak and Iron, which is another expansion, and so into naval, the old school naval stuff. So it's fun. It's hard to stay on the table. You don't want to sail off the table. You're out of the game, and it's embarrassing to make that kind of a turn. And then you realize it too late that you should have thought about it, and now you're not going to be able to pull off the way the ship moves. So they're actually more fun than I thought. I just never really gave them a chance. So had I not, I would have missed out on that too, or I would have missed out on some of the Hex Encounter stuff. So I'm glad I'm into a few different things game wise, but like I said 100 times before, we've kind of just capped it where we're at because there's too much out there, and I'm just trying to get through with what I got, and I don't want to stockpile that stuff. So there you go. Board games we still have. I don't know. We had a whole stack of them in the other
board
room
games
that the kids used to play with.
I think the only one we have now is Risk and BattleBots.
Oh, Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
So we still have one of those Rock'em Sock'em robots, little plastic robots fighting each other.
Because the granddaughter likes playing with
That's sitting back there behind the curtain that looks like a brick wall. That looks good in a picture, but everybody knows it's a fake brick wall. So Greg wants to replace it at some point with
a banner.
Gamers the Coffee, big giant thing for the wall. I'll do that one day, I guess. But I don't know. Miniature gaming is pretty much where I'm at most of the time now.
I mean, hell, we even took a game out for our anniversary.
Yeah, and so see, Meander and Mike, I understand what you mean, where you might not get some views on videos. So we did, if you look up anything to do with outdoor camping and cabins, tends to be pretty good. Well, I just thought, we're out here in the cabin. We were going to play the game anyways, and I didn't realize how popular cabin stuff was till I looked it up. So I thought, maybe I'd get more views. I don't think we got 40 views, and we were just gaming out in a cabin, so it wasn't gaming in the room. It was something different, and whatnot.
Which I'm not too happy about that last game. I mean, I'm glad I won, but
yeah, you won, so you're good.
But it was with the Americans.
Mandarin Mike says he has 3 dozen different versions of Risk. Oh my God, there's so many. There's so many. Should you do a video on them? I think if you have the time and you want to kind of go through them, maybe one video on this Risk, that Risk. You know what I mean? I only have 2. I have Risk and I have Halo Risk. But that'd be kind of interesting. I mean, do 1 or 2 and see what happens, Mike. I mean, what's it going to hurt? You have them, so it's not going to cost you anything to do the video on it. You may as well. I mean, why not? And see if people pick it up. It's just today, it's this. This is your biggest problem. People can't keep a focus more than just seconds, and they won't even finish something closer to 2 dozen. Still, even if you had a half a dozen different ones, why not? You can show the differences in the boards and whatnot. You got to remember, Risk is a long-standing, long-term game. It's probably not going anywhere. It's like Monopoly. Maybe not everybody likes it, but you know what? The game's been around forever, and it's got a steady. It's a steady seller, right? So Risk is a steady seller. Uh,
I didn't know they made Warhammer Monopoly.
I showed you that one. I thought you did. Oh, well, yeah, I know they got the Warhammer Monopoly Mythos. You should show that off. I mean, your channel does good on its own, but that's something a little different too, because now you don't just do straight Warhammer, you do your cards and that stuff, which is very interesting. But then you could go back and say, look, because everybody knows you're a Warhammer fan. So like that box there that Keegan gave us to do something with, I just haven't had the time. And you've got Mass Effect Risk, really. So Mythos, I don't know if you heard earlier, everybody knows that GameFound is kind of like becoming a new Kickstarter. It's really kind of gaining ground, and so
let's see, Risk game.
Risk gives you anxiety. Yeah.
So you have the original Risk that came out in 1975.
Hold on.
You have Game of Thorns.
Yeah, you got all sorts of risks.
Shadow Force. That's another global domination. European Risk.
Mass Effect. It's because they're a video game Mass Effect. Is that what it's directly taken from? Because that's what I'm thinking. So hold on just a second, Ash. Because Mythos, you weren't here earlier, but Tekken. Remember the old video game Tekken? That is on GameFound, and they're bringing it as a board game with miniatures. Now, so obviously it's fighting, but I don't know how that's going to portray, because actually Keegan found Metal Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, and he found that board game, which I didn't even know they made a board game for that. So Lucas says 20-minute overview video. They're the ones that get the most comments. We've tried to keep them to 15 to 20 minutes, if you guys have noticed, or around 10. But it just seems like what happens is people will watch and then they like and then they leave, but they don't leave a lot of comments. Now, a lot depends on the group coming through also. So, And Mythos says his wife and him are big Mass Effect fans. We had to have it. Awesome. Mass Effect is a good game. So lately we were just trying different things. I used to be a long time ago also, well, for a decade, where I did a lot of Call of Duty. But they have just, to me, it's not Call of Duty. You got all these crazy skins, and I mean, the characters are comical at best, and it's not like what it was. It started out as, supposed to be somewhat of a war game, and it turned it into, now they're trying to copy Fortnite, is what I get out of it. And I played enough Fortnite that I just like, I tried it, but it's not about skill. It's about how fast you can build that building and, jump and hop like you're a rabbit. And I'm like, it's fun to tag the bad guys when they're jumping, because they think that randomly jumping, but when you're used to skeet shooting, that to me is just, woo, look at this. I got a gamer who thinks he's a skeet. So it's kind of fun that way, but the game itself was just like, whoa. That's why your German Shepherd is named Commander. Gotcha. Yeah, Charles. See, that's the thing. Most videos over 20 minutes you're going to watch and hit it for a like and move on, and you don't waste your time. See, and that's the thing, is that's just how people basically view it. I had a question from, I believe it was the Miniatures Paintbrush. So every once in a while you guys see that on our channel, it'll pop up just the audio version. And with Podbean, it'll do that like every other time. And if you notice, this may be 6 or 5 or 10, maybe 15 likes or something. But I'll explain that to you guys too. Mythos actually has always backed us up on audio. He's always been one from day one that he'd tell me he listened to our show on audio or our podcast. So I know others out there too over the years, they don't have a chance to get to the live show, and or they can't just watch the video. Some of them have driving jobs, so you're not legally allowed to be staring at a phone watching a video or any kind of video, but you can turn it on, get in the car, throw your phone on the seat and listen to it. There's no video, it's just audio. And so the reason the audio is done is for those who just can't. Like work for me, I used to always be able to, us and Modeling for Advantage for a long time, always got together. I'd be on their show, vice versa in the beginning, but work changed. And so because of the 6-hour time difference, I'm just not able to do anything. When I listen to their stuff, it's after I've got off of work, or it's, something like that. So that's why the audio is there, and that's why I throw it to Podbean, but it also goes to Audible. It'll go. There's so many places now. It's just kind of out there. You just have to look. iHeartRadio and Spotify bought out. I can't remember though, but Spotify absorbed it. There's just, and our podcasts actually go pretty well. Minnie Warmont says Mantic Games is releasing Assassin's Creed on Kickstarter soon. Well, it'll be interesting how they're going to bring Assassin's Creed to the table. But then again, like we talked about a little while ago, Resident Evil got brought over to tabletop, and the reviews were great, and the reactions from people playing, because the game created such tension. Maybe that's why it didn't go as far as they thought it was. From what I understand, it can get very tense in the game. And Wolf of the Hobby says, so she's Commander Shepard. Ah, nice. Henry Mike says he enjoys playing Risk Legacy. You can name continents, cities, radiation zones. Oh, okay. Special missions unlocked. See, that's the kind of thing you can do a short video on, Mike. Maybe just keep it under 10 minutes or something. Because that's kind of what we're trying to do. It's really hard, though, to do like a battle report.
Under 10 minutes.
Under 10 minutes without it being too fast that it's not enjoyable either. Yes, thank you, Mythos. You always do catch it on the podcast version. We appreciate that. So I've gotten at the core of it, I really enjoy the Audible podcast. And I like Podbean because I can bring live people on. I think up to 5. They can call in and stuff. It's kind of fun. Mandarin Mike says live streams he can start sometimes. He'll switch to playing Age Empires and listen. So a lot of times for you guys, what I do is I know how important the watch time is. Even if I can't finish watching, I just let it play. Does that make sense? Like you could go to a channel and start playing, click play all, and then you can set your phone down and go to sleep. And you know what it's going to do for that person? It's going to go from 1 to 1 to 1. It's going to rack their minutes up. So, and I'll also try to like what I can and go back. And sometimes you'll see in one day, I'll like several of your things. So I'll go through and I'll watch a little bit, or it's already played through, and I get the gist and I like it because I try to support you guys back doing that too.
Well, I mean, at least with us, you have 2 people liking your stuff.
Beto says he used to. I know you used to listen on Audible, but I'm glad to put you on the Podbean. It's much more convenient. Yeah, it is. Podbean's pretty cool, Mythos. Really, really, I like how it operates price-wise. Because I do them. You can do it free, but the free version won't work for me with putting out the audio. So I do the upgraded one, but I like it. I like it quite a bit, and works good. Audible is great for books, yes. Podbean's better for podcasts, yes. Meander, Mike says under 10 minutes you meander too much. We understand that, Mike. I know a lot of shows I've seen will set their time to an hour. We don't really set a time. We figure at least we'll give it an hour, and sometimes what?
We've gone over.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of you guys have been here, and we're still on 3 hours later. So I just kind of
Oh,
Try
what
to
was
be
it?
about an hour and a half, but it depends when people come in, or maybe they want to jump on. And so our evening's kind of open. You listen to Let's Read and Mr. Is that Ballin podcast there now? Yeah. Whatever podcast you like, it's a good spot to. You don't gotta be sorry anymore, but he says he's sorry. He has a hard time keeping up with all social streams, YouTube, Facebook, Discord. So you guys know that I had Discord for a couple of years and then I dropped it. The reason I dropped it is there's too much. So let's just say you're on X, which was Twitch, and then you're over on Discord, and you're here and you're there, and you got 5, 7 places. Now you gotta try to check that every day. You gotta try to keep up on it, and then your listeners are not, they can't keep up with all the places you're at either. So I'm just trying to. I haven't gotten expanded, and if I could go back and do it all over again, I don't think I would have expanded as much as I did. I would have kept it more condensed, just because. I mean, TikTok has worked out good for us, but there still you don't get your video played all the way through.
No, because before they did the little update, you could only do like 30 seconds. Everything was under 30 seconds, and people got used to 30 seconds swipe, 30 seconds swipe, 30 seconds swipe.
Yeah, but now you can do it like 10 minutes at least. The problem is TikTok is, in my opinion, and a multitude of others I've viewed, it's just ruined people's attention span. And of course, TikTok went away for a whole day and came back. When they did that, they scrubbed everything. You ain't gonna be able to find what you used to find, is all I can tell you. And Andrew Mike's, he's quite the Discord averse. The last place he wants to visit. Yeah, our Discord, well, we had like 50 people or something. And there was like no activity other than one other person or two. And there really was, it got to a point where Meander and Mike, it wasn't worth trying to keep up with. Twitch, Twitter, I would have never went to Twitter to begin with. And now that it's X, I don't know. It's the same thing owned by a different person, but I really don't want to go for that's more of seems to be a political type hotbed. And so we kind of don't want to go out. So yeah, it's been fun. It's just a little bit sometimes hard to keep up with it. And then the hardest part is trying to know what to do. Like there's been times I felt like like I said, I appreciate you guys here, and it does make a difference at the end of the week. But there's just sometimes it's like, man, I want to get a game out, but the entire week went fast with work or family stuff. I couldn't get a game. Should I keep doing this? Should we? And then I got a little notification. I started a lot further back. I thought it was 6 years, but actually it's been about 8 years I've been doing this, closer to that and not 6. And then I'm like, do I just kind of give up and pack it up, or do we stay? I mean, yeah. So you can only do so many. Like our Facebook group, Meander and Mike, we got a lot of people, and I noticed that when you get into like the creator area and you can look at your analytics, it gets quite a bit more. But I don't get a lot of comments, but I get a lot of people reading and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most customer service companies don't have email anymore. They want you to tweet them on X if you have a complaint. Customer service is it's not really what it was anymore. I mean, trying to get through on the phone, you guys know what that's like. You dial a number and you go through all these prompts, and it just sends you in endless circles. And there's times you just want to just
throw the phone
because
or try to reach through and strangle.
You're trying to, yeah. It's too bad I couldn't force choke people with the force over the phone. You know what I mean? But you cannot. It's just a waste. Like you need to talk to a living person not.
On some things you do.
And AI, as much as they try to make it sound, you can tell right away it's AI. No matter how nice the voice, they've gotten really good at making the voice on them things nice, but there's no, you can tell there's no thinking behind it. It's, you're like, this is just annoying. I just need to talk to a person and to solve the problem. So I don't think texting people is that big a deal.
Well, that and some of them say, "Oh, well, you can text us your questions and we'll get back to you." No, I'm not texting you nothing. So that way you have my phone number. Nope.
But the people that have to deal with the text, because the job before I had on this was customer service, before I moved over here to doing all this insane work, and the 2 jobs before that, because I kind of took a break from doing really hard work once I busted up my back. But customer service, I've done enough of that. Even emails is hard to keep up with. Now, trying to do text, that'd be even harder for someone to keep up with. And then, they want you to answer X amount of calls an hour, X amount of whatever. There's a lot of meandering, Mike. A lot of things that are quoted as fact is not. And there's a lot of mistakes made. Yep. Just like Wikipedia. Well, I hate it when people go, why? What to Wikipedia for the truth? You can change the stuff on Wikipedia. I mean, it's not the truth. A lot of times you can look up stuff there and then actually dig up stuff and recorded history books. You're like, oh, okay, this was changed, that was changed, and so I'm very analytical when I get a response. I want to double check it. And they're trying to get AI to do everything, which it's still not going to replace a person at the end of the day. So, and plus, maybe they didn't watch Terminator. Do you really want to make this stuff self-aware?
Let's not.
And all the drones they got now, my God. It used to be even in war, people had a chance in war. They don't got a chance now. Them guys on the ground, nope. Swarms of them drones can be released against people in a war. So, all this AI stuff to me is they've just gone way too far. It's all about money, but it's just way overkill. Yes, Mythos. Wikipedia, unfortunately, will be cited by people as facts. And it may have started out as in a good way, but it's pretty subverted on a whole lot of stuff. And I don't use it as a point of reference. When it comes up, I just scroll past them. It's not a trusted source. Sometimes. That's kind of why we did the show the week before. Mike Telemachus brought up some good points on that too. Is there's just too much on tariffs, too much stuff that's just lies, like just blatant out there misinformation. Oh, this is a new thing. No, I mean, our country's had them since the Tariff Act. I think it was 1779. So and they go back to the Greek and Roman days, and people are thinking, news media makes you think, oh, this just all started. No, it didn't. It's been around for centuries, man. This is something everybody does. And that's the problem I have with some of this stuff is they don't really list the fact. They could say this is happening now, but they purposely leave out all this other stuff. So it leads people in this direction. It's very, very much I don't know. It's annoying. It's annoying if you're somebody that will sit and analyze stuff. So too many factual mistakes is correct, Mandarin Mike. On lots of it. I agree with you to a point there, Mythos. But you know what? If you're going to have a war, since the leaders who want to go to war to
make them go to war with each other. Let them go fight it out.
Yeah,
don't bring our people in it, our children, our sisters, our brothers.
They're not willing to put their own butts on the line. So if they're not going to do that, then don't put any butts on the line. You go ahead and do your little mech war. Go send a bunch of robots to fight each other. Then go to that end of it. Because you watch, if you look at, there's lots of footage where they're raising up 10,000 more drones at a time. And there's swarms of, this isn't science fiction. This is already here. It's already done. New York already has those robot dogs. You're never going to fight off that stuff.
No.
descent in
So
mass.
our people cannot fight.
Yeah. So I would say it.
They need to find a desert area where there's no one around and just let them go at it there.
Yeah,
that way there's no life threat.
That way there's no life loss. So I agree with you on that. Preservation of your allies is a noble idea. Preservation of your own troops on the ground, regardless of where you come from, is absolutely what you should consider. The problem is, how do you fight against something that flies so fast you can't?
Well, they have some that are like the size of bees or something like that. And then oh God, I remember it was a couple years ago you showed me it, where it can fly at someone and explode in their face.
Yeah, well, that's
and it's like the size of a mosquito or the size of a bee or something. It's tiny.
And Telemachus says AI is in its infancy, so it'll get good in the future. Well, I believe it's way beyond what I think they're just releasing it to us. Telemachus, like it's kind of like back in the day when you had the stealth bomber. So they released that in the 80s. But I specifically know more than one person who was in Vietnam who will tell you that was flying then. We were never told this. We were told a couple decades later, oh, look, here's the new thing. So I don't think AI is, because look what happened. It was like 2-3 years ago. They started in January. Oh, AI is coming a little bit sooner. By the end of the year, you're swamped with AI. That's because it was already there, already in production. And these companies are tired of waiting. They want their money, I think. And I think it's already far beyond. We're just getting released dosages of it to get us used to what it is. I think it's far beyond what we're being told, just like everything else, because, that's the world we live in. By the time you find out about it, it's old news to
everyone.
The higher ups, yeah. I don't care for it. I mean, it's going to be too. That's a whole nother show we could do. We'll put it that way. So we'll circumnavigate back, but yeah, it's not a good idea for it to keep going, keep being pushed the way it is. Well, look at your board games. Just looking earlier, and now instead of being called solo play, what do they say? Oh, it's the AI in the game. You can fight the AI. What happened to the term solo play? It's been replaced with that on a lot of them. So, and it's still solo play. It just sounds better, I guess, in marketing, but
or fighting the computer.
Yeah. It's all interesting. We live in an interesting world. Greg just gets up, goes to work, takes care of his family, concentrate on that.
And then spend our weekend end of the week with you guys.
Yeah. And the rest, there's nothing anybody else can do about it.
Or I'll stay up until midnight, almost 1 o'clock, playing a freaking World War I game.
Yeah, lately Ashley's been playing that. But see, you know what have you learned from playing that World War I game?
War sucks ass.
No. You also, how hard it is to do that. Could you imagine fighting
I couldn't.
The Alps? And
there's no way.
It's like
you start running up some of these like stairs and all that, and all of a sudden you like slow down because you're like knee deep in snow. It's like, come on, and then get shot.
Yeah, and you've got bolt action stuff.
Oh yeah, that stuff sucks. 5 rounds and that's it, and you have to hope you're faster than the other person.
Yeah. The hardware will change, Telemachus says, and it'll make much better. Well, they've already got the Tesla robots out. They've already got a few thousand in people's homes, from what I understand. You can buy them and finance them. I think AI, Mike, my opinion is just this. If you want to build a robot that you can send into a dangerous situation to control, like a fire at, say, a nuclear plant or something like that, and you want to use it for that, I think that's okay. Because you're not losing a human life. But they never do. They never just do something for good. They always have to take anything good and simply pervert it into something else or corrupt it. And that's the other end of the stick. So they always, I don't know. I think you could do a lot of good with it. But then again, look, what was it? Is it? No, so I don't know if it's Japan or China. So it was just an article, but I think it was Japan. They have one of the first hospitals where it's mostly robots. But you might, to me, if you're going to go into anywhere for healthcare,
You'd think you would want
might
human.
want to talk to a human, yeah.
Well, I mean, look at all the Teslas that have been like tweaking out and
yeah. Unfortunately, people have
committing
died.
suicide in rivers.
Yeah, or going their own ways. Telemachus says, "Prepare for the AI revolution. Don't be left behind."
That was called what again?
we're prepared as best as we can be. We got tabletop games. We got candles. We know how to get our own food, and we're self-sufficient. So, if the lights went off, if the lights went off, I know how to hunt and fish, and I know how to get
we
my
went
food.
what?
So,
A week? 9 days?
we went 9 days
without electricity.
Power in our area. That was after Duratio.
Mm-hmm.
But to us, it was more. It was kind of
like camping.
It was kind of fun. You were kind of waiting for like an end of the world scenario. For in this area, it kind of was. It was more like camping. The only thing it taught me basically was to make sure that I had a full tank of gas, because in minutes it can change. There was no warning on that Duratio. It just appeared, and by the time the sirens went off, it was already
there,
already on you, and so no gas locally for 5 days. You had to go multiple counties away if you had gas to get there. Man, Mike says don't get him started on that company. Yeah. Yeah, they do have a lot of restaurants too. I mean, I understand if you got a server that's a robot, or it's kind of a unique thing, but then what about all the people at this places, I guess, Yeah, our concerns on technology they are inconsequential, Telemachus. It really doesn't matter what the average person thinks. The stuff is just being rolled out anyways. After looking at it fairly in depth, I'd say they're way ahead of where they're letting us know. We're just getting it dribbled out.
Oh, God. Now, Brian's not irritating me. He's trying to get to Mike.
He's got you now, Mike. Test the side, yeah. But they do have a lot of interesting stuff in Japan there. Mythos, for sure. Coffee shops wouldn't be bad so long as they, cooked your food right and stuff.
But the problem is, it's a robot. It's not a human being. These robots, people are trying to make it easier for people to go and get a better, hamburger or whatever. But then what about the people who can't, lose their job because of the robot?
Yeah.
Then, there isn't then that person can't buy a hamburger or, shoes for their kids or clothes or whatever because that robot took their job.
So it's kind of like going back to what I was saying about just dribbling things out to you. And you're not necessarily, like you guys were talking about Wikipedia, like when you go to school, they were real quick to tell you about Henry Ford and the Model A, car and blah, 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 blah. But then you find out that before the gasoline operated Model A, right, there were electric cars. Now we're being told that, that's only in the last 20, 30 years. No,
that was the early, 19?
Like even here, so I was pulling this up just to show you. So electric cars, they were electric cars before the Ford Model A, right? But they don't teach you that in school. They literally don't tell you. You're just sold on the gas car. These cars were back in 1890, and in the early 1900s, electric cars were more popular than gasoline-powered cars. So now you're being sold electric cars today, right? But that's just a regurgitation of what was before. That's all. But you're not taught this. You're taught to believe this. Then you go, look, we got electric cars. Well, they did that 200 years ago. So, I'm telling you, man, when you start really looking, it's really interesting. Anyone watch The Electric State?
No,
I have not. Where is that? What's
Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
Okay, we don't have Netflix, so do we?
No, we don't.
Charles,
Crystal does, so we might have to go over to Crystal's one night and just say, sit down and watch it.
Charles says if he was rich, he'd buy an armed version of Tesla. Yeah, well, you live in California, I would. It'll also get you through the traffic jams. Because of that movie, I have a song in my head. Mike says Kashima battles with the giant pink robots. Ushami. Yeah, took out jobs and assembly lines.
Yeah.
The problem is too is look, we got too much stuff produced too fast. There's just that's like if you go to buy a car, you look online. There's acres of cars from the year before just sitting there that weren't sold. The law of progress states no one's jobs were taken. They just didn't know they were going to have them for a short period of time, too. True. Well, you knew there were going to be robots because didn't Isaac Asimov way back, didn't he come up with the 3 rules of robotics, right?
Oh, so God, yeah. iRobot.
No, not iRobot.
No, that's the 3 or 5 rule of
But
robotics.
This is even before that. So they knew. They kind of tell you what's coming. Yes, they are not very good, Charles. I agree. Lots of fires. A couple of them here recently, since the beginning of the year. There's been at least one news article. There was about 4 people in the car. It caught on fire because the electric locks. It locked it, and they couldn't get out. So of course, they passed away in the vehicle very horrifically. And so I want nothing to do with them. I'm good with my gas car, but they are really pushing the electric stuff. And there you go. There's just money in it. But I just think it's interesting, you guys, that it's not a new concept, that there were electric cars long before there were gas cars. And when you're told the opposite, and you're never told about this, it's because they don't want you to know. You're just told this. I'm telling you, man, it's a very interesting world. Oh, the Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol has new cruisers. They're all dark grayed out. But see, they shouldn't be that way. They're supposed to be marked, Charles. Any law enforcement unit's supposed to be identifiable. Meandering Mike says her name is Yoshimi. She's a black belt in karate. Oh, she has to discipline herself. Well, karate brings discipline, right?
Can, especially if it's a black belt. Wax on, wax off. Which, did anyone see that? I just saw a commercial up on TikTok for it. They are actually making a new Karate Kid.
Well, they had the series out, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the Karate Kid series. Or I think that was called something different. But this actually has the original kid from the first one. Now he's an adult training this new, like, Chinese kid. Or something like that.
Meandering Mike's putting those are the lyrics, aren't they, Meandering Mike, to the song? Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the rest of our lives. I don't know. It's some of it, like I said, is nice and cool, and other parts of it's like craziness. Anyone else says Jackie Chan and Ralphie?
Was Jackie Chan the actual original? I saw. No, I don't think it was Jackie Chan, was it?
Does Jay Leno have some? But that's cool. Well, Jay Leno has. My God, he's got more vehicles than he's got his own museum. Meandering Mike. Yep.
I guess it was Jackie Chan who was the original.
Pat Morita is dead. He was the teacher, I believe, correct? But I thought, and I haven't seen it, I thought there was an offshoot show for them.
Yeah, Pat Morita. Okay, so Pat Morita was the original.
Yeah,
it's Jackie Chan in the new one, I believe.
Oh, okay. So we'll. Mito says Jackie Chan was the sensei, and oh my God, the version of Will Smith saw as a student. There you go, Telemachus. But in school they didn't teach me that.
So this one is Jackie Chan as Mr. Han.
That's what it was. Mandarin Mike, thank you. It was the Cobra Kai series.
Yeah.
I had seen it being talked about, and yeah, good grief, Ashley. He says ketchup. I'd seen it like little glimpses, but I never got to watch it. I don't, I wasn't sure how good it'd really be. Um, but by default, people are going to watch it to see, I guess. And if you guys have been watching it, then tell me, is it any good? Did you like it? See, our problem is we don't have Sundays when we sit here and talk. We've allocated the evening. It's about the only evening that we've got specific amounts of time to sit and just chit chat with you guys. So during the week, we kind of play it by ear. Oh, it's worth binge watching. So one of the shows you got to watch a couple on the road to do.
Gotcha. I said that's how I feel about Reacher. I want to keep just sitting down and watching.
Yeah, I actually found the show Reacher.
No, you found it. Popped up on your TikTok, I think.
No, you said you had seen this guy. Who is it? I said, I've seen bits and pieces of this show called Reacher that people were just reposting. So, maybe warm up. Baby shark, do.
I don't have no baby sharks.
Yeah, you do.
I have Jeff the shark.
Well, you printed a baby, Jeff.
That's for our 3-year-old granddaughter.
So baby sharks.
Yeah, say we're up on the last season that they have right now, and we have like 3 episodes left, and then the next season won't be released until sometime next year. So I'm a little peed about that one.
It generally takes us like we'll sit down and eat dinner Monday night. We'll watch half of it.
Yeah, and then
maybe we watch the other half Wednesday or Thursday. Well, try to get through one show in a week. Bruce Lee was number 1. Yep, absolutely. Ever since him, everybody's tried to live up to that. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to binge watching would be interesting to do. But anyways, like real quick, I'm going to touch back with what you were saying earlier, Mike. Well, I would go ahead and try with your wrist stuff. Let people know. I know that the little differences like you were talking about earlier. Andor. See, I've not seen those either. Isn't that Disney Plus?
Yeah, isn't that the Star Wars thing?
2 Reacher movies.
They make Reacher the.
I haven't seen a Reacher movie. I haven't seen the movies, but Reacher the series. Yeah, that man is a massive individual.
It's Tom Cruise, John Reacher, or Jack Reacher. I mean.
Oh, he's nowhere near the size of the guy that plays Reacher in the series.
He's a short cake. I'm wondering if Reacher wasn't actually the TV show wasn't pulled from this, Because it says U.S. Army Major and MP investigator Jack Reacher.
Well, yeah, it was.
So they just changed it.
Yeah, all the Star Wars stuff is on Disney. Mandarin Mike says, I knew that, but to me, Disney messed up some of the Star Wars stuff. So I don't have Disney Plus. Longmire is a great series. What is Longmire about? I don't know anything about that one.
Longmire?
The Reacher. So Reacher, the only one I know about, like we just said there, Charles and Meandering Mike, was the series. And we've been trying to, when we eat dinner, watch, generally we'll get through half of one. And so we've been trying to just get through one episode a week. And it's been really kind of cool. It's interesting.
Looks like a cowboy kind of take. Maybe. Neo-Western crime.
Mythos says, is that Michael J? I hope that's pronounced. Said he could have beaten Bruce Lee. He's good. Bruce Lee was supernaturally good, man. That's the only way I can put it. When you watch things and how this guy moved, it's almost like he just simply wasn't one of us. And I don't know who is going to be able to accomplish what he did, and maybe people will come close, but I mean, I don't know. Oh, Jay White. Yeah. Don't you hate that when it group stuff? Oh, the girl who played Starbuck from the more current Battlestar Galactica. And that's another thing. When they go, we're re-releasing Battlestar Galactica all those years ago, I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched them like Starbuck's a girl? What? But she kind of grew on me. I got to where I kind of liked her attitude. So I think they were okay there. I'll have to watch that, though, because...
Yeah, it's like a Western...
Yeah, she was...
drama is what it basically looks like. At least that's what it says.
Which place is that on, Longmire?
IMBDU.
Oh, she got into that then, right? Shortly after the Battlestar Galactica, which I thought they did okay. I thought they did pretty good redoing it because I was a little concerned about how they were going to do it. Katie, lots of hearts up there. Don't look, wife. So Katie's she was easy on the eyes. I'll have to watch Longmire. She has a successful YouTube podcast right now.
I mean, she's not bad looking.
What's the podcast name? Oh, it's Katie Sackhoff on YouTube. Huh.
Looks like Amazon. You might be able to watch that.
Yeah, if it's on Amazon, I have Amazon Prime.
So we'll look it up.
For several years, man, there were a couple of years I didn't even have a TV, and I didn't honestly miss it. She's an AI replicant. Oh, someone shared. She might be a down-to-earth person, which would be more nice to see, because sometimes people people in show business, a lot of them just become very aloof, and if they don't end up crazy or into perverted stuff, they just are, antisocial, and it's all just BS to get the dollar. So finding somebody that comes out of that's really down to earth is pretty rare, in my opinion, Minnie Wormont. So I'll have to check out her podcast. I had no idea. I liked her in Battlestar Galactica. I thought she did a very good job as a replacement, not just because of, anything else other than she just did a really good job on it. Her personality fit.
Lay down.
What is it?
Her neighbor.
Huh?
Her kid slammed the car door, so Jesse
Oh.
started freaking,
Oh,
thinking someone was here.
Jesse thought someone was at the door.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
Okay.
What is a TV? Yeah, for a long time I just didn't bother with it. All I can tell you is way back in my days, I took criminal psychology. And if you start to study any kind of psychology, then you watch TV, you will immediately see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I won't bother to explain it because people won't believe me. I'm just telling you. She's what Star Wars was she in? I don't remember seeing her in a Star Wars. Maybe we're not. Unless she's on Disney Plus in one of those.
Thing or Kate, whatever.
Oh, The Mandalorian. Okay. So I did see the first Mandalorian, I think, over at Keegan's. Oh yeah, Mythos. I absolutely will agree with you on Keanu Reeves. He has seemed to be very humble.
Yeah,
very
Mandalorian.
much from what I've seen. He just kind of dresses normal and gets out there, rides the bus, does things that people don't expect. That's why they don't. They'll go, "Oh, that guy looks like him," but they don't really understand
All right,
it's him.
so this chick played in Team Unicorn, Hyperspace, Chicken Soul, Soup for the Soul, Robot Chicken, Star Wars Tales of the Empire.
Oh wow, she played in a lot.
Star Wars Celebration Live, Bionicle Woman, The Mandalorian, Battlestar Galactica.
Wow, and then there's Longmire right there.
Yeah, Longmire, Another Life.
Wow, she's in an awful lot. You guys brought her up, and Ashley's looking. I didn't realize. I had no clue.
That's
she
all
was
the TV shows.
All the other.
That's
series.
only TV shows. There are movies she's played in too.
Mito says she's awesome as Bo Katan.
She played in Riddick. Don't Knock Twice.
The Chronicles of Riddick?
It just says Riddick. So one of them. There's like 3 or 4 Chronicle Riddicks. Christmas Sales, Girl Flu, The Haunting of...
Gee, she's got appearances in a lot of stuff.
She was in Battlestar Galactica, the movie. Deadly Obsession, How I Married My High School Crush. Wow, the list just keeps going on.
Wow, she got a lot.
Batman.
So Meandering Mike says, just because of all the Star Wars, Marvel, and general Disney stuff, he thinks Disney Plus is a great value. Cool. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have much time for TV for a few years, and I was a little upset on what they did to a few Star Wars things because I just wanted to see Star Wars as, Star Wars, not a political message movie. So I didn't agree with some of this stuff. But Mandalorian, everybody seems to like. From what I've seen of it, it's pretty good. Charles says he subbed to her. I'd have to look for her and sub back. I think I'm sitting wrong. Well, I'll have to check her out, though. Let's see.
No, if you click that, I'll close the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'll have to look for her after we're done with this because Ashley's right. If I try to do that on YouTube while I'm using it, I'm probably going to screw it all up. So you've got the last name then. We'll have to check it. I'll check out her podcast. Yeah, the Star Wars TV shows seem to be getting some overall good reviews. And I haven't heard anything bad about, like, The Mandalorian. I've heard nothing but good about that. People really seem to enjoy that. Well, mini warm up. What to play next? you could write some names down and chit pull them. You know what I mean? Like toss them into a cup or a bowl or a hat or whatever you got.
Looks like
And
her
then
last
pull
one was
something out
5
and go with
days
that.
ago. She did one 5 days ago with Will Wheaton.
all this crap and no diaper to poop in anywhere, much says. That's funny. Yeah, it can be sometimes daunting. It's just daunting for us anymore to do. We started the year out with our list and we did quite a bit of accomplishment towards what we want, but then it just kind of stopped. And trying to continue forward is it's hard, but we're not the only ones. It's just Charles says he thinks she's in the third Riddick movie.
All it said was Riddick.
Yeah. I could see that, Mythos, where you'd like the Mandalorian over the rest of it. Like I said, I only saw the first two. I think we said it.
I didn't watch the first one when Disney first took over. I watched the second one where Chewbacca made friends with those little
not
things
the
and
movie.
then ate him at
Not
the
the movie. Not the movie. We're not talking about the movie. We're talking about the show, The Mandalorian.
I never saw any of them.
I did. I sat there with Keegan. Well, I don't know where you were that night, but if it's a good show, it's a good show. So I'm certainly not knocking it. I just don't have Disney Plus. I guess what I ought to do is check out some of what Keegan does. See if I can check out some of it over there.
I don't know which one of the Riddicks are my favorite movie. He did a good job on all of them.
Yeah, Pitch Black.
I think
was
that's
really good.
The better one of the three.
I like the other one too, where he was fighting the necromancers. That was a real good one. But Pitch Black that's what made him too.
Oh, now it's all the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, but see, the first Fast and Furious I thought was good, but then, like anything else, you make too many of them, it just.
Yeah, it kind of.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Pitch Black, but see, I like the science fiction stuff a lot. It's just I haven't had. I mean, some of it is good, some of it's kind of hokey and bad, but I also like Starship Troopers, which come on, that was kind of whatever. But I thought it was good.
I'm confused, huh?
I'm not sure which scene that
you're talking about.
You're talking about Mini Wormut, but walking down the hall. But if we ever do get some time, maybe we could find a way to expand a few shows here and there more. But I don't know.
I'm trying to think of which Star Wars this was. Because I saw all the originals.
Oh, he said that in code to not spoil the show.
Oh, it's a show, then it's. Okay, so it's something I haven't seen. I'm like, I don't remember that ever.
Well, regardless, Pitch Black was a good flick. It really was. I want you to remember this moment, how it could have went. You've used it on your characters in role playing. Fantastic, Mythos. Props to you for that. See, when you enjoy stuff, you pass it along, and that's a good thing, man. You guys informed us a little bit, but like I said, we don't have Disney Plus, so. Oh, he was in the process of picking up Baby Yoda. Yeah.
Baby Yoda! I don't have Baby Yoda no more.
All right, we'll have to see because that's a Mandalorian thing then, correct? Any more about? You know what we should do? Yeah, he's a Grogu, not necessarily Baby Yoda.
It's
From what
still
I
Baby
heard.
Yoda.
But maybe I should just tell Keegan 2 nights a week he's got to cook us some dinner and invite us over, and then we can watch
I
the
don't know if I
Mandalorian.
want Keegan cooking for us. That's dangerous.
Well, it might be a bowl of cereal or something, but who knows? Yeah, especially if he hands you the food and says, "Here, I mixed it all up. Eat it."
Yeah, right.
Maybe not. That's about the only way we'd be able to do that. So I don't know. All I know is I don't really want to go to work tomorrow again. Ugh. Just seems like the weekends go too fast, especially when your week is full and then you're running around. Baby Yoda, the Amish Jedi. That's funny, Telemachus. Yeah, Mythos, he will be to Ashley too. She used to have a purse I bought her with Baby Yoda sticking out when it first came out.
We gave that to our 3-year-old granddaughter. I think she has it over at her.
Oh, I
other
thought you gave it
grandparents'.
to Jenny.
Oh yeah, for her birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, our daughter-in-law's parent is obsessed with Baby Yoda. So for her birthday, I'm like, it's just sitting on my dresser collecting dust. At least it'll be played with her. So that's where he
There's
is.
even a video I put up on TikTok of Baby Yoda on your as the guardian of your desk.
Yeah.
It's only a couple seconds. I'm like, look at this guarding our desk. Man, Mike says we could take our favorite takeout over there. Whatever happened to that weird man Keegan? I don't know. He's just been busy.
He's been working a lot. I think he just got done doing.
He was doing nights.
Overnights
for the 1 week, but he only does that once every.
Yeah, I think he just.
I don't know.
That
once every month
Saturday.
And a half or something, he'll get a week where he has to do that. They all swap it out at his company. I don't know, Charles. And that's funny, Mike. Just a candle in the wind. I could bring my favorite takeout. I have one that I kind of like more than the others. It's a place over here that's a Thai restaurant. And they make a really kind of spicy, mean chicken
fried rice,
chicken stir fried rice Thai style, which is I like.
We need to go back there. That was good.
Yeah, it's very good. Mythos says he doesn't like us anymore. I know he's busy for the 1 week. I don't know what he's doing today. He's not working nights tonight, but I know he gets caught up in I guess in his defense, Farming Simulator.
I know.
Takes a lot of his time. Oh. And then he found a pressure washing game where you pressure wash.
He bought the expansion that you can watch Warhammer vehicles.
Yeah, he bought the expansion Mythos where you can wash down Titans and Knights, just Warhammer equipment, all the equipment. Yeah, Charles says if you don't know where you left off, then sometimes going back to the beginning is best. Because you'll remember it as you go. I'm not sure about spicy garlic. I love garlic and I like spice, but I don't know what crop ho is. Although Ashley ordered something called Drunken Noodles.
That was good.
That they had. And I have no idea what the seasonings are. It's noodles with what? Chicken, all sorts of vegetables.
Chicken, a bunch of different vegetable, and spicy sauce.
You missed lo mein, yeah. We'll have to go. We did try the buffet place we talked about earlier once, but we got so used to going to that family restaurant that it was your food. I don't know. And Mito says he loves that expansion. I thought it was a pretty cool expansion when he showed me. I'm like, yeah, that's fun. Pressure wash that. But pressure washing in real life is kind of addictive as you're spraying like a deck and it's just a dirty board. And as you're going forward,
that's why people like that game.
So that somebody capitalized on that. They made that game. And I'm like, Keegan, this is going to steal your life, man. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, May Wormont says the Andor series, the most intelligent
Glass Noodles,
Star Wars series
too.
made. I will maybe just check that out and see. Maybe I'll try that. Mike, that's a fair comment. You know, the world's a crazy place, and you can buy a Power Wash or Warhammer 40K expansion. Yeah, and it sells. Which, by the way, Mythos, are you enjoying the? Oh my God, the Space Marine. The game I wanted to get. I just lost track of it.
Space Marine?
Yeah, the new one.
Space Marine?
Yeah, the new one.
Space Marine?
Yeah, the new one. We're just going to keep doing this.
It's called Space Marine.
Thai style glass noodles. I have not had that. But this is all Thai cuisine. So I've gotten a Thai chicken and rice, and I like the way it tastes. And then you order it on a spice level of 1 to 5, but 5 is extremely hot. So they said unless you want something extremely hot, be careful. Yeah. What's work, Charles says. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're able to retire. Back in the 80s, they put that stepping retirement up. So this year, even though the bill was back in the 80s, it steps up. So, now if you're born a certain time, then it's watching Midlife Stockman channel. That's addictive for you. Yeah, Space Marine 2. That's what I was going for. I
said Space Marine.
No, it's Space Marine 2.
It's still Space Marine.
No, because there's a 1 before it. Hey, Katie. She says you should play Plate Up sometime. Plate Up. We'll have to try that.
It must be some kind of like restaurant thing.
Well, my daughter Crystal loves the House Flipper.
Hey, I was into it, and then I ran out of room. I couldn't download anything.
And you basically get this old crappy piece of property and you rehab it, resell it. So like what you do in real life, but it don't cost you anything. Anywhere says he rebundled with Hulu at Disney with no ads for $4 per month for the first year. Okay.
Hey, there you go. I say that's a good deal.
Mizo said, yeah, you've been busy on the road the last 2 weeks. You haven't had a chance to play.
So he was able to do his show Friday.
That's when I wanted to get, and I would have sat and played it because I've watched a few other people play it for a little bit here or there.
Get it external.
And it just looks really like a badass game. All right, Katie, we will have to try this Plate Up. All I know is I'm just trying to give Keegan a fair break. When you start playing those games that you zone out on.
Hey, I did it's like Minecraft.
They have a lawnmower, a grass cutting game, which you would probably laugh at me more because you do landscaping and I ride a lawnmower. But you just have to, you're just mowing lines. And I guess it's very addictive to people. So Keegan showed me off. I'm like, no, man, I cut grass a lot during the week. I don't need to play a game where I cut grass. But I could see where people would sit and stare at that. Henry Mike says, oh my God, I hate restaurant cookie games. They're so stressful. Well, Katie, if you're still there, is it a stressful game? Yeah, many warm up. Those games make you boil, huh? And you're sitting there going, that's not how you cut that grass. That's not how you do this. You feel cooked. What they should do is get you an artificial sunlight lamp that comes with those games. And it's required to bake you at a certain temperature for while you're playing.
So you're sitting playing the game and you're getting burned.
Like you're out on the lawnmower and you're getting sunburned and then
How did you get burned?
Maybe,
a video game?
Maybe have a little thing that releases mosquitoes to come by and pick at you.
Oh, no. Nope.
Yeah. Do you love the cooking games? And yeah, that was a really punny one, wasn't it, Mike? Speaking of that, does anybody watch Gordon Ramsay? Because once in a while, I like watching his shows.
Oh yeah, Hell's Kitchen.
2 years ago, we got to Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Never been in my life, man.
That was the best steak in my life.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's way out there where
5-hour drive.
Yeah, it's not like you can go all the time. That was phenomenal.
Chicago has Gordon Ramsay burgers.
Yeah, but you have to go to Chicago. Well, first you have to, like any other good game, you got to armor up yourself, and then you go to Chicago. It would be, Mike. It really would. Just imagine you've got your little your controllers like you're actually operating a zero turn, and a heat lamp on you, and then every once in a while they can set some up so you get stinging like you've been bit, and, and then something to simulate a bunch of dust or whatever, so that when you're driving you're not choking.
No, he's saying fallout, radiation burn.
Yeah, but I'm saying radiation.
I'm good. I don't want no radiation burn. Screw that. I'm good.
I'm talking, take that concept and put it to the mowing games. You think some of the cooking games can get players steamed? Oh, many more, but yeah, probably. Charles says he's got 5 SPI games coming at about $50 each. So your game money is all gone. Then you got to go back to the casino, Charles. You said you were out there. Go back, win some money, and then you can go buy some new games.
Actually, Mythos, it wasn't as bad as what we were thinking. I took, when I looked it up, it looked like it was going to be, like about $100 a person.
Wasn't quite that.
What,
It was about 180.
Yeah, that's with a good tip.
And that was with tipping them. But the restaurant, and you got to remember, we're poor, so we knew we were going, so we saved.
Yep.
And even though $200 is not a lot, it is when you kind of don't have it. But to go to a place like that once in your life, you should take your wife there. You guys would like it. You're not, at that price you could do it. But they're steaks, so when you go in, they got refrigerators, and so these big slabs of beef are aged correctly, and then they hand cut those. This is not.
And then also depending on which one you want. I think we just got the aged one.
Well, but this isn't going to like the local butcher at the grocery store. This is way beyond that, man. It was worth every penny. So yeah, if you get a chance to go. You love Hell's Kitchen? Yeah, that was a good show. Hell's Kitchen here in the house is if me and Ashley are cooking and one starts to tell the other what to do, then it turns into Hell's Kitchen.
Really?
But if you could go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurants, it'd be all right. There you go, meandering Mike. Get some tags out there. I don't know, you guys. All I know is we were going to try to go back. You could meet us. It's just you and her. I mean, I certainly couldn't afford to take
all our kids,
a family there. If you took 10 people, then there goes $1,000. But for $80 a plate, roughly, but you're not getting. I mean, the steak was big enough you couldn't eat it all and took it home. And I can't begin to describe a steak that's kind of extremely soft. There's no chewiness or toughness, and I mean, that was the best steak I ever had. And so my whole life I've never been nowhere quote fancy. So that was a quote fancy place for me. I get a free meal from Gordon Ramsay if I'm on death row. Well, that's okay to them because that's a little bit of an extreme to do it, but death row. Well, I am married. Death row. Both of those are a life sentence, aren't they?
Gregory!
What? You get married, it's supposed to be for life. Oh. Well, you can take your girls to Mythos. You're in a supervisory position. They pay you tons of money.
Crystal and Kiki took their youngest, and he was 7, 6,
Yeah.
6 and a half, something like that.
It would just be, it's one of those things where, you know, you just kind of save and go. Yeah, Meandering Mike, fancy. It wasn't so much I went to, it was because it was Gordon Ramsay. I liked the shows, and I just always kind of wanted to eat at one of his restaurants, and I probably never get to eat there again. So it's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. But I'm just saying, you're not just paying an exorbitant price for food. This stuff was really damn good, and so. But then again, the man knows how to run his kitchens and his restaurants. Oh my God, many more money. He says women are natural cookers because they have smaller feet and they can be closer to the oven. Jeez. That would be a life hack. No doubt about that. I don't know. It was just one of those things, you guys. Like, it's not something Greg and Ashley can do every year, but just once. It was. You would like it, Mythos. You would enjoy it. I think you would too, Meandering Mike, because you get what you pay for when you go there. Telemachus says he aims to serve. Well, we're glad to hear that, sir. Customer service is one thing that's lacking in this world. And Charles, I will go along with you to the point that there's more men chefs. Yep. I can't say they're better, but I would say there's way more men.
There's not a
Yep.
Ramsay.
You noticed that, Meandering Mike.
Closest one to Mythos would be Kansas City.
Yeah. So what we have to do is travel that way and then get Mythos and Lily and their kids and go up. Yeah.
Coming back towards Iowa.
Yeah. Now, man, if money was no object, you guys would all be treated. And Telemachus would be like,
Kansas
who the hell is
City,
that knocking at my door?
Louisville. What is this one in Tennessee?
That's in Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah. He doesn't have tons and tons of them.
He has 6 restaurants.
Yeah.
Chicago and Naperville. Those are the only ones he has.
Not many more, but that's evil, sir. I just can't repeat that one. But yeah, that's interesting. Uh-oh. Now Ashley's got to go check and see what mini wormwood said. Yeah, it'll pop through for you. That's true. Yeah, Meandering Mike, that's she just like sitting there like, Are
you going to go and postpone your demise there, honey?
What? I wasn't going to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, show yourself to the damn door.
How many more months I'm done? Well, it's all good, you guys. See, this is why some of you come by. Do you know the way? Well, Mythos.
Wow.
Hey, you know, people tuning in to this
I
show.
was waiting for Brian to go and make some stupid comment.
Oh, no, it was brilliant. I just can't repeat it. Linkster, we're on late. Actually, we've been on later before.
Oh, yeah. We're only about, 20 minutes
I think our latest 20 minutes.
We usually run 2 hours. We're about 20 minutes
About
after.
an hour and a half, 2 hours. Oh, let's say if you thought we were 20 minutes in, you must have been falling asleep over there.
Sure.
That's okay. Our longest one, I think, was a little over 4 hours one day. But
and that's not even gaming either.
It was gaming.
I thought you were leaving there, Mutt. Get out.
We all have dirty minds, he says.
We're gamers. Come on.
Well, wait a minute. Not all gamers have dirty minds, just some of us. I don't really.
Really?
So how are you doing, Johnny, sir? We're just we're talking about steak and eggs. Yeah, we'll go with that. Because we were talking about Gordon Ramsay steak.
I've actually seen Game of Thorns. Or Thrones, I mean Thorns. Wow, where the hell's my brain?
I don't know. I hope it doesn't take off on you whilst cooking.
So make yours extremely hot.
That won't really matter.
They probably wouldn't.
I would figure out a way to eat it anyways.
Oh, nuh-uh, Ethos. You're involved in that one, too. You're not no angel.
You guys should go back and look at some of Ethos' older videos.
Yeah.
You're waiting for some minis you screwed up to be unscrewed? Well, it happens. As long as you can fix them, then, Johnny, it's okay, right? I mean, if you can't fix them, then that's what hurts. What? What are you laughing at?
Brian, give it a second. There it goes. It's on there. Shame Ethos. All right, Charles. Have a good night, hon.
Yeah. Go win some more money, Charles, so you can buy some more games.
Right.
I will try to watch the show mini warm up. We'll see. Oh boy. Yeah. Dinner's
Yeah,
this time of year, man, I enjoy grilling, but our grill's
I should
done.
go get going.
And so when fire starts coming off one side port underneath the grill, it's time to let it go. Oh, too much primer? Well, if you're just soaking them to get the primer off, then yeah, you just got to wait. Well, it's okay, Mike. Well, we appreciate you coming by. We're going to go ahead and wrap up because, like we said, we were going to cook our dinner
too.
I'll come help you.
Shut up. Give me the damn mouse.
All right,
At least
you guys.
this way it gets done correctly.
Thank you all for coming by. We appreciate you guys. It's great to end the week and start the week this way. Keep it going, mini warm-up, because it gives Ashley something to talk about for a few hours after the show on how she's going to get back at you. She likes this interaction. Some people that don't know are like, oh boy, but the rest of us, though, it's okay.
Nah, I'll just give it right back.
So thank you guys. If you would hit the like button on your way out, we would appreciate that. And you guys have a good rest of the evening. And that's very good advice, Mini Warmont. And it's been very windy out here, so I'll take that. Well, good luck, Linster. Hopefully that all works out for you, sir. But we're going to go. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.